What's up, everybody? It's Breeze Beat MC, another video. I want to share a little secret with, I guess particularly with the young bucks, 16 through about maybe 23, 24. So here it is. You guys are the source that feeds the big trending machine. The big stars that talk about everything evil possible in order to shock the world into liking them, they are all flashes in the pan. They are not creating timeless music. Everything's going super fast. They get a hit song and then like a week later someone else replaces them, so on and so forth, you know. So here's the trick. The powerless, powers that be, right, want you to think, they want you to believe they can make you a star. But you can make yourself a star because you're in that age group where the folks in your age group are the ones that are streaming all the music. So you have the sort of power they don't want you to know that you have. That they're trying to hide that. They're trying to grant you power you already have. You're actually so powerful that the decisions that you make with regards to what you're going to write and you're going to release, if it goes against what they're doing, could potentially be a very serious situation for them, because their whole idea, or what they've invested all this money and time into feeding everybody this so-called idea or propaganda that sound or that thing is what's trending and it's what's popular, could potentially implode. And if you just stick to your guns and you're willing to become a leader and you're willing to lead and you're willing to just do what you think is your gut is telling you to do musically, their whole idea or whole industry almost, or everything they're putting everything into, could potentially implode, and that whole thing could potentially point in your direction, just because you're willing to do you and not listen to those that are saying that in order to make it you have to copy, or you have to be like, listen, like some of the sounds, like you got to stay current. You know what the folks in your age group, you know, like within 16 to 24, you know what your age group really likes and what they embrace. And you can already see that everything is leaning towards like a darker, like evil type of vibe. So if you were to just, you know, say, you know what, I don't want to go in that direction, I want to do something that enlightens people or that's super positive, within the age of 16, right, to like 24, your age group listens to everything once again, and they're the ones that are really intaking the majority of the streaming, going to concerts and all that, so on and so forth. The fan bases are, you have it, you're the powerful one. Actually, they're not even powerful, and I can tell you from experience that when I was, you know, I remember that there's a lot of power in you not believing. So they want to make you believe that they could make you, and maybe in my time, yes, because they had control over the media, but you have so much power with social media that if you were to decide and make a conscious decision to be a positive force with your music and touch the people around you with positive influence, even though your peers may mock you and say that you're just, you know, they turn their back on you or hate on you or whatever, you just stick to your guns, and that whole thing that they have in place will have no choice but to turn in your direction. Because what's going to happen is, since you're once again in that age group, your fan base, which is in that age group, which is taking in the majority of the streaming and going to concerts and purchasing the merchandise and liking you for all types of different reasons that are, you know, beyond your what you know, you know, just because you're a younger person or whatever, you look the way you look, and you know, you get to decide, you get to take this thing and swing it in your direction. You just have to have faith in yourself, which I really do believe a healthy relationship with God, to some, you know, seek out a relationship with God and understand that you were created with purpose in mind to do big things. So if you're young and you can, like, if you're within 16 to 24, you can have a good relationship with the higher power of God, and do the opposite of what's being done, instead of do the same old, which is all this evil stuff that actually does make it and becomes huge, but just doesn't have any longevity. And you stick to your guns and do something positive because you have the age group demographic in your favor. people are going to listen to you, and it's going to have no choice but to swing in your direction. And, 10, 20, 30 years from now, you're going to be able to sing your songs because they're positive and be happy and feel good about it. I can't really think that some of these songs that I've been hearing lately are going to translate 10, 20, 30 years from now with some of the artists. But, I'm not going to call anybody out because I don't do that. It's art in its own way. I'm just thinking that when you're 16 to 24, you're the one that makes the rules. And the powers that be, they want to trick you into believing that they can do this for you. But at the end of the day, you call the shots. So if you called to do something positive, you're going to be quite impressed 10, 20, 30 years from now when you see that you have a legacy from it. That's my encouragement to you. So check out my podcast radio show with a lot of my music, shakethejoint.com. It's music with a positive spin. And these things that I share with you, I actually live by this stuff. I've been doing this since I was a kid. I come from Chicago. It was kind of an interesting, upbringing because of where I'm from in Chicago. You have the gangs and all the different things that you have to overcome. And then, so you have I had a conscious decision to make, because I got into hip hop, of what type of topics I was going to talk about. And I really chose the positive stuff, the party stuff, the having a good time and the uplifting stuff. And it's been over 30 years. And every time I perform my stuff, I feel uplifted. And I always get folks come up to me and tell me how uplifted they are from it. And, the message was what it was. But I had a choice, like you, to, am I going to talk about these subjects that are risque and weird and kind of put me in a weird place where, and then I hate to say it, a lot of people kind of want you to do that dark stuff because it kind of perpetuates their idea of who you are and, your tribe, whatever you come from. So kind of think of that too. Being a light in darkness goes a long way. I hope this helps someone out there. So remember, shakethejoint.com. You can check out my 24/7 podcast. And if you're able to leave any comments, do so, and I'll try to respond. But this is what this whole thing is about. This podcast thing is about uplifting beginners or folks that are in it. And listen, I'm not really just saying this, I know I'm touching on 16 to 24 because that is a big deal. That's when folks are really listening in. The kids the kids are listening to the music. So you have more power than you actually know. So go with that, all right? Peace. God bless.